And this individual, Mr. Byron Nelson, it says Dr. Byron Nelson. So I'm gonna call him Doctor. So before I get started, for those of you that don't know who he is, he's a senior vice president in this company. He's been successful in multiple industries. He's helped dozens of people within ACN and out of ACN to have success. He's one of the most supportive friends that you can have. He's loyal. He's one of the people that is going to tell you straight how things are, because he loves to see people reach their potential. Not only that, but he does everything in his power to encourage people to be the best version of themselves possible. So without any further ado, I want to introduce to the call my good friend, Senior Vice President, Dr. Byron Nelson.
How's everybody doing this morning? You lay the foundation? Which direction we going in, Jay?
You know, when we're the direction you feeling right now on this beautiful Friday morning.
Ooh, man. What's up, Ken? Breathing. I am breathing. You know what hit me this morning in my 5 seconds of meditation and waking up? Because I'm burning it on every side of the candle here. But what really hit me in the midst of coming here, I want you guys to really take good notes on this, is there's three, I'm going to talk about one, but I think there's three cardinal sins. This is for a person that's just getting started in the business. And a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to say there's four, because that's how I start to think, they start to generate. But I'm still only going to talk about one. But I want you to have four of what I call the cardinal sins, why people don't make money in our business. And the fourth one I'll talk about. The first one is getting qualified. Learning how to get people qualified, starting with yourself. That's massive. If I had to start my business all over again from 1903, I feel like I'm a grandfather, right? From 1995, when I did start this business, the first thing I would master faster than anybody else is learning how to get myself qualified and get other people qualified. That gets into a whole nother realm, because getting people qualified is where your money comes from. We got into this business to get paid. So the first impulse, before I would do anything else, I would learn, I'm telling you chronologically what I would want to do. I would want to learn how to get qualified, which I did. And you can write down the speed of the leader is the speed of the organization. So your organization can only move as fast as you do. The second thing that I would do more than anything is I would learn the business and the industry. There's so much information, and in other modalities and businesses and directions that I'm multiplying now, it's the same thing of people not taking the time. And I call it, you know, in my head, when I'm yelling, when I'm screaming, when I'm doing businesses, don't come to eat off my cake and you didn't come to help make it. Don't come to eat off my cake and you didn't help make it. I don't mind sharing all my cake. I'll take the last bite of the cake. But when we're building something, I find people that are, you know, they come in and they're literally, now, there's no foolproof system. Technology is what technology is. It's going to have its glitches, you know, inserting customers, putting customers in, how all that. Certain things are fixable, certain things aren't. But when you take the time to learn the business, our business, and our industry, you at least as a leader have a greater safe haven in knowing where the mistake was. And we say that the one who makes the most mistakes is going to make the most money. So I made quite a few mistakes just recently, lost over $1,000. Now, did I really lose $1,000 or did I gain 100,000? Because that 1,000, you're going to have to pay, you know, and I was having this conversation with T and Ken recently, you're going to have to pay your tuition somewhere. So you're going to have to figure out where you're going to pay your tuition. Where most people, when they have to pay tuition, let's look at it. It only costs $200 to get started in this business. You go to a university right now, universities like Dartmouth. I have three nieces, one that's on her way to college. She's looking at Northwestern, she's looking at Yale, Stanford, talking about $60,000, $70,000 a year when it's all said and done. So we're talking about $200 for the admissions fee. But the admissions fee is not the tuition. The tuition is your mistakes. It's where you cost time, money, energy. And anybody knows me, my definition of money is time, energy, space, and people. That's what you're paying into any relationship, education, a husband, a wife, a relationship, whatever you're doing. Does that make sense? You guys follow me on that so far? You're going to have to pay the tuition. And it's amazing how many people don't want to pay the tuition. And you got to do it with grace. What do I mean by that? That means you're going to have to take your time to really learn a new person, their nuances, their habits. Now, and I'm not going to go down that alley of the tuition of people, but what I will tell you is you're going to have to do it at a much slower pace, especially as you're building a team. And I'm talking about a team for anything, an internal team, a team. I have a team on my squad called a team of mechanics. They're my fixers. I choose people that have a certain demeanor, that have a certain spirit that I don't have to teach, a certain servant mentality that I don't have to teach. They come that way. They're built that way. Now, there's some people in which I massage and I twist. Yeah, but then you have to sit up there. Some people have the attitude of greed. Some people have an attitude of, I have an agenda every time I speak. I like people that have a certain heart, a certain mind for themselves and for everybody else that's around them. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me on that? Right? So, but that's also, again, when you're doing that, you have to truly have a certain attitude towards, if I'm learning how to put together a computer for the first time, you might want to go slow. You know, one wire can mess everything up. If I'm learning how to put together, you know, this mic, I've never used a mic that I do now, but this mic, and you would have a certain mic, everything mechanic, a phone, a cell phone. Do you know how many applications a new phone has? We only utilize maybe 3%, 4 or 5% maximum volume of capacity of a cell phone, but we're quick to go get that. Oh, I'm gonna get that new phone. Oh, I'm gonna get that new note. Oh, I'm gonna get that new iPhone. Ooh, did you see the camera and the different, and how the lens and how better much take it? Oh, I want to get that new iPod. I want to get that new tablet. And we get all these things, and you don't even know how to use more than 5% of the dang thing, because you got it only for what you wanted to get it for. And then when you need, see, I prefer, one of my slogans and sayings is, it's better to have than to need. I prefer to have a toolbox in my shed than to need one and have to run to Home Depot and get one. I prefer to have an insurance policy on my car than to have needed one after I get in an accident. Nod your head if this is making sense, okay? Great. I prefer to have the knowledge of my company than to need it when I get a superstar come on my team and I look stupid. I know I'm out there digging for gold, looking for the right people, but when you get the right person, if you show up unequipped, it then kills your business, because now they're looking at you like, why should I follow you? You haven't, how long you been in? Oh, I've been in for about 6 months. And you don't know these basics? How long you been in? A year. And you didn't tell me how to qualify for the next position. You haven't even done it yourself. How long you been in? Oh, you haven't even gotten to it. I mean, how long are you doing this as a hobby? Because you haven't gotten, it's not about the hype. I hit positions. I never hit positions for myself. Yeah, we all like acknowledgement, some more than others. It depends on what your love language is. You know what my love language is? Money. The only people that don't like talking about money are people who don't have any. I actually tested one of my friends who happens to be on the call right now. And I said, what do I hate more than, I mean, literally more than anything else? I mean, more than moving. I mean, you've been around me for a minute. What are the things I hate? Their response was good. They're like, questions. I gotta tell you, that made my day. The humor in that and the truth in that was really amazing. But that really wasn't I said, no, that's number 3. What I hate more than moving is losing money. But I also embrace and love when I do it. Because if I made $100 mistake or $1,000 mistake, it earns me a 10x immediately. It'll never happen again. I'll make 10,000. If I make a 10,000 mistake, I get upset about losing money, but it just got me excited because I know I'm gonna make $100,000 by not making that mistake again. So the point of this conversation is learn how to fall in love with your mistakes. If you're willing to gain the wisdom from them. It could be a person that you trusted. You're upset over 2 years, it could have cost you 20. I've seen it happen. I see people get so comfortable in the wrong relationship and they know they should have left in the first 2 weeks. It was their gut feeling and they didn't listen to it. Big mistake, very expensive mistake. Now it costs you the rest of your life. So that would be number 3. Number 4 is the meat of the conversation and the training today. Now I'm telling you guys, these are truly, I'm sorry, that's number 3. That was number 3, right, Jay? So I have 5. I told you it was going to grow. 5 would be, so number 4. Number 4 is either learning how to market your business or employing people who do. Learning how to blow your business up. Find whatever capacity. By the way, those who were on last week, that person has hit me back. I haven't responded and they've hit me back 3-4 times in my inbox. Let's have a conversation. When can we have a conversation? I want to talk to you. Da, 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 da. It's amazing. Truly, truly amazing how that works. Let me see if I can find it so I can just show you guys what happened. Let's see here. Let's share. I think Rita gave me power to share. There we go. For those who were on last week, you remember the redhead right here? You guys remember that, Catherine? You remember that? Let's see what she sent me back.
Byron, hello. Thank you so much for reaching back out to me. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. I am all into attracting like-minded individuals who want to build relationships and who are selective as to who they give access into their lives. So it sounds like we're on the right path with each other. I really appreciate you leaving me a voice message. Not disappointed at all versus the text. So yes, I actually create unique travel experiences for entrepreneurs who enjoy building relationships through worldwide luxury travel. And it's my goal to just educate people on travel, enlighten them, because I remember the first time I went traveling. Oh, if you could remember the first time you went traveling, I bet that whole experience was just amazing. And then to get to do it over and over and over again, each time you visit a location or destination, it morphs into something new. I just love it. And I'm all about luxury. So anything that requires an upgrade, anything that's lavish, I'm learning more and more about in the travel industry and teaching others about it as well. So I am super excited. Congratulations in all of your businesses across the globe. That's amazing. But yes, I did view your page, and I like to add individuals who.
So we don't need to go through all 3 minutes, but you get the point. How many people get the point? If you duplicate, you don't have to be me. If you duplicate the habit and the training and the tips that we're giving you, it will cut you from a 20, I mean, literally what Julian gives you, what I give you, what Al gives you, what Jocelyn gives you, it will cut your 20-year journey down to 2. What is she doing in that conversation? She's auditioning. That was an audition. I didn't have to go and court her, take her out to dinner, spend an hour in a presentation. I just put out the right conversation, and that comes from being more interested than interesting, for those that are taking notes, and in being interested in what she does and trying to figure out how to support her, develop what she's doing, collaboration, setting very sound boundaries before the call. Look, I'm not interested in, finagling. I'm not looking for chasing tail. I'm not here to see if you're cute. Oh, you're attractive, you're beautiful. I just want to be on your page. None of that crap. Just, I'm all about my business. I'm never on social media. I'm going to get back to you when I can get back to you. I'm very selective about who I let into my portal and into my life. I know everybody on my page. I want to know you better. If this does not appeal to you, don't say you want to actually request me as a friend. And in that, I didn't add her as a friend. I left it open. So she's still out there. There's still, what that does is it still adds a fear of loss, because she didn't get the immediate, oh, add. No, you still out on the outskirts until I let you in. Is anybody getting this? If anybody get this, that's a full-blown lesson that comes full circle in 1 week to show you how that works. There's no way you can actually leave 10 messages a day times 5, 50 times, 10, 500 times, 5 weeks, 500, I'm sorry, times 12. So let's say 10 months, 5,000 plus another 500. So 6,000 contacts, and not find 5 people, 6 people that will make you wealthy. If you learn how to get half of that to interview for you, not you pitch them, that's off the chain. That's why I don't understand when someone says, I just don't have the time. I've been trying to find the time to work the business. That costs me 10 minutes a day. I'll make your bills go away. The other 50%, they'll become your customers. It's that simple. Does that make sense? You guys with me on that? Yes or yes? Now, I think I messed up in my math, but you guys get the drift of what I'm talking about, yes? Okay. The brain is still a little mush. So that would be number 4. Being that law of attraction, marketing your business, reverse engineering it so business comes to you. When you want to go find new friends, new business partners, new associates, go get a whole new flock. Stop swimming in the same dirty pool of friends and family. I want to say that again. Stop getting in the same dirty pool of friends and family, thinking that it's going to get cleaner when you jump in a second and third time. No, you're giving them a second and third time to reaffirm that and bring that negative energy and give you more sermons and give you more naysayers and tell you more, build up a resistance and build up a conversation around a conversation that doesn't exist. It's living in a state and a demographic of ignorance. Oh, so you back into one of those things again, huh? You thought I would change 6 months later because you named it something different. Oh, great. I got a bigger negative conversation to be able to pull your soul out and kill you and leave you on the sidewalk all bloody with no confidence that this will work. Come back a third time so I could suck your soul out. I'm your brother. Who else would you want your soul to come from except for somebody close to you? Let me just suck the life out of you on this one. So the first two didn't work, so now you're stupid enough to try a third one, huh? Yeah, When are you gonna stop these crackerjack businesses? Look, I ain't seen you do raffle tickets. I didn't see you try and start real estate. I didn't see you quit 3 or 4 times. You were in some pyramid thing before, and you were trying to sell me insurance. You tried vitamins. Now you doing what? Telecom and what? Oh yeah, give me a chance. The world is filled with negativity, and I'm just the vampire to suck the rest of your life out of your soul. Come on over here. Let's have a good conversation. And we just not smart enough to not to go back to the same, and you come out that much dirty, jumping into the same dirty pool. I'm giving you a brand new house with a brand new pool, with a brand new jacuzzi that's completely clean, that you can get in and you aren't even at home. You're actually on a tropical island. And you jump in and you come out with a whole bunch of friends. Everybody's having a good time. That's the life that we're talking about. Creating a new market. So when I say marketing your business, I'm talking about creating a new market of prospects for business partners, for friends, heck, for a spouse if that's what you're looking for. But stop jumping in the same pool. Did that make sense? Everybody with me, yes? Okay, that's number 4. Number 5, the reason I started this call, which I'm definitely on because I don't want to take a whole lot of time today doing it. I'm going to train a little bit more on it next week. My last Friday, because I think this is this right here is the hook where the money lives, where people, and if you got those first 4, I just gave you 5 reasons. I don't think there's, outside of having the wrong attitude and not taking action, you might want to write that down. Outside of not having the right attitude and not taking action, I'm giving you the 5 reasons why people fail the most in our business and in our industry. Those 4 were doozies. Here's the 5th one though. Don't fall in love with your front line. Don't fall in love with your front line. This is a bear trap. I believe this is the biggest doozy on the planet. Now, why is this the biggest one? For me, subjectively, they're all equally important, but this one right here, for those that have been around for a while, and for those that are already business acclimated and you already have some influence and you already have been successful in some capacity, the 5th one is about understanding everyone does it and everyone loses when you do it. If you fall in love with your front line, it could be a cold market recruit or a warm market recruit. They're still your front line. And this is about finding oil. The way I look at building a business, especially within network marketing, it's about finding oil. And oil is way below the surface. It's not on the shallow side of you finding someone and saying, oh my God, Joshua's gonna blow up. You see him, he's doing this, he's got great attitude, he's got a lot of business people. Oh my God, if I get Rick to just roll, he owns a Fortune 500 company. If I can get Tracy Gilmore to roll, oh my God, Greg, he came from the police department, he knows everybody in the department, and he's retired and he's got, oh my God. And you fall in love with the person, whether it's cold or whether it's warm, on your front level. But I'm gonna tell you, It's not that they won't make you money, and it's not that they won't become your leader. You just won't be able to anchor your money until you get to a 5th, 6th, 7th, or I'm a firm believer your money lives between levels 5 and 9. Your money lives somewhere between 5 and 9. That means that I'm going to sponsor Julian, who I know will blow up because I know he's a bona fide leader. But he's not going to really, even though he loves me, he may even respect me, but he doesn't respect me in this business. Because Julian may have had much more experience. He may be older than me. He may have owned several businesses. He may have blown up in real estate. He may be a real estate investor. So he's not really listening a whole lot to me. He's doing it with a filter, with a very short attention span because he's too busy. But he sees the value of the opportunity. He sees the vision of the company. So for $200, that was our lunch today. I'm in. What do you want me to do? Okay, sign up my office and I'm qualified. Now it's like, to do the basics, he can do it. But to get him to take action, listen, Linda, listen. I want to slow down because I really want you to hear this. I'm going to share it. Shh, don't tell nobody else. Come here. I'll tell you a secret. Now, y'all can't tell nobody else. It's just you and me. The only way you can get somebody to take action and become a leader in this business is to make them lose money. You should write it down. It's just our secret. You have to make them lose money. You have to get a drill. And I brought in Julian, and Julian helped me meet Ishmael. I met him at his barbecue, and Ishmael turned me on to Deborah because Deborah works with Ishmael. And Deborah turned me on to her cousin, Catherine. Catherine's like, what's going on? And that's like 4 levels. And then Catherine said, I need you to meet my brother, Daryl. Daryl's like, I'm doing anything my sister says. And then Daniel turns me on to this woman named Jackie. Now, I met Julian on Monday. I met Ishmael on Tuesday. I met Deborah on Wednesday. I met Catherine on Thursday. And I met Daryl on Friday. And then he was having this soiree and this party with his family. And then Jackie came and Melissa came and Ken came. And so they all came to the party. And Ken says, I own this massive company. I understand you're the head of this beast. And I really need a shift. I'm going through a whole lot in my life. And the paradigm, I need a second stream of income, but I need something that has some meat on it that can put at least a good, extra 5-6 figures in my pocket over the next 2 years and a profit margin that I can have control of my time. And he's hungry and he doesn't know you from Adam. See, Ken is going to become your love affair and he's going to drive like crazy. And he's not, and the only way now, everybody else is like, what happened? And then the next week, Ken has this home meeting or this Zoom meeting or a gathering at a coffee shop. And because he already has a team, as I do, I can push a button and the world's going to show up. It's just what it is. Ken has the same knack, and he already has a tribe that follows him no matter what he does. They aren't in something. They aren't in another company. He has built a specific personal homemade tribe of people who are like what I call in my world, loyalists. Where I go, when I move, they move. That's the way that I operate. And so in that, now he pushes a button and the second week, 30, 40, 50 people get in the business. Now, all of a sudden, Melissa's like, what's going on? I know I've been helping you, Ken, but who are all these people? Jackie's like, so how's that thing going, Melissa? How you doing? Oh, 40 people just came into my business. Daryl's like, what's going on? I just saw 30, 40 people coming in my business. How come I didn't get paid off of them? How do I get paid off of them? I need to get paid off those people, right? I'm getting a bonus off all those people, right? sorry, Daryl, you aren't qualified. I tried to tell you in the first day what it took to hit the first and second position, be qualified. Now Catherine's looking, and Deborah's looking, and Ishmael's looking, and then Julian gets wind of this. He's like, hold it, 40 people just came in. And I didn't get paid off them? Okay. And I'm a leader. Now he gets a can of act right, and he builds out his organization because he doesn't want to miss out on Ken's activity. Now where you have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, now you got a branch that goes, 3, 6, 1, 2, 8, 20. Who do we appreciate? And everybody is now working for themselves, taking action on their own. They're reading everything. They're on every video. They're plugging into the call. They're wanting to know who can give them answers. They're learning how to fish instead of you giving them a fish. You call them, it's like, I really like to help you, Deborah, but Ken has another meeting with another 50 people coming in this week. Now, would you like me to help you babysit answering questions or work with Ken bringing in 50 new people underneath his initial 20? Oh, no. Go ahead and help Ken. I'll figure it out myself. I know you will. Because we could either sit here together broke, or you can continue to allow me to make you rich and put 2,000 new people in your business. This is how you write it down, taproot. You master the art of taprooting. Doesn't matter what business you ever go into, you'll always be a beast. I don't second guess or undermine my relationship with Julian in any way. I'm just taking care of my business. Now Julian has a different perspective. He has a different lens. He has a different love. He said it on the onset, but now I just proved it to him again. He's like, oh no, I really appreciate it. You've been doing how many meetings? In 1 week, you did over 7 meetings and all I did was sponsor you. If you take 2 people, start with 1, and you run around a track for a quarter of a mile, you'll go at your own pace. You'll get done in maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on how slow you walk. Some can do it in 5 or 6. We won't talk about Roger Bannister. We're just talking about the average person, right? You're gonna walk around 1 football field, quarter mile. And it normally takes you about 10 minutes. But you invited me and Julian to come out and walk with you. And we're attempting to burn fat. And we're also attempting to enjoy our walk with you in the beautiful sun and walking this track. We start stepping it up. Our pace is now about 7 minutes of walking when you're used to walking for the last month, 2 months at 10 minutes around that track. Just us walking at 7 minutes, your step will naturally, organically speed up to catch up with me and Julian. And you won't say anything because you don't want to look like you slow. You're like, hold it, you've been doing this forever. You invited us out. So now our speed, is everybody understanding this train of thought? It's natural. If you naturally speed up your pace, your team will naturally speed up their pace to getting things done. So the last bullet point of understanding this training is the speed of the leader is the speed of the organization. The speed of the leader is the speed of the organization. I just recently got involved with a project and the number was 400. The number was 400. I'm not talking about people, recruits, money, customers. I'm just giving you an analogy. True analogy though, but the analogy. And the number was 400, right? And I do this with doing reps, when I do push-ups, when I do pull-ups, everything, to be able to catch up. I find somebody else who has done a little bit more than me for the gold prize. I want the prize. And my partner was at 420. It took him about 3 weeks to do that. So what did I do? In less than 4 days, I did 370. I was like, oh, you ain't gonna beat me. You can't touch me. I wasn't even prepared to do any work. But once I saw the work he put in and I see the results, I'm all about results. Once I start seeing the dents in my 6-pack, I start eating less junk food. I start drinking more water. I start doing more cardio. I go back to what Julian, it sticks in my head. Some of our first conversation. I give me a weighted jump rope. I started doing weighted jump rope. I want to see more results. Oh, this is what drops it? Okay, I'm gonna eat cantaloupe and watermelon. That's all I'm having in my bowl for the day. It's gonna drop more. What else do I need to do to shred this? Because my goal is to get shredded. When you see those results and then you compare them to somebody else, it's like, oh, okay. And summertime's coming, and I need to look good in a bathing suit. We gonna make all this money and not look good in a bathing suit? Oh, hell no. I'm about to get shredded. Does that make sense? You guys with me on that so far? Okay, mind, body, soul, finances, and put God on top of that, and you have a hell of an omelet. That's your omelet. That is your omelet. That is my training for this Friday. That's 5 bullet points that will allow you to make yourself a crap load of moolah on this Freaky Friday. Any questions? I have a few minutes to spare, or I just want to know that everybody enjoyed it. But we can unmute it. If you guys have any questions for me, you can. Don't unmute everybody. It's too many. But you can push your hand up, and then Julian can unmute you to be able to have any questions. If anybody has any questions, but I think that I gave you all the ingredients. I put all the flour and sugar and everything on the counter. I gave you the explicit directions, the Fahrenheit, the exact time for you to have baked yourself an amazing cake filled with dollars and cents for going into closing out this month. So, yes, go ahead, Jackie. We're going to teach everybody. There's a thing at the very bottom that says reactions, I believe it is, and you can actually push it, and I believe there's a hand where you can raise your hand. But Jackie, you don't have to do that. I just want you guys to know how to do it moving forward. You put your hand up somewhere. There it is. It says in reactions. It says raise your hand. You click that if you have any questions. With just more wisdom. But go ahead, Jackie. How you doing, love?
I'm doing fine, Dr. Byron Nelson. As always, I enjoy when you come on and make it a point to be here. My question is, we have an event tonight from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. What are some pointers you could give to make it very successful? I already know it's going to be successful, but having a more effective, successful meeting.
It's a home meeting, yes?
No, it's out in the community. We secured a venue. It's a cafe.
Okay. How many people do you have confirmed?
Confirmed right now, we have 10.
So you'll have 5 show up. Okay. I like last minute. A lot of people now, preparation plus planning plus action equals success. We all know that equation. But you'll notice, and the reason I'm answering this, because it's what I'm attempting to determine is what you interpret as successful. If successful means by more people, that's one thing. If successful means by creating an environment, that's another thing. And that's a training in itself. But let's just go with having more people to be more successful, because that's the simple answer. The rest will be an intense training. You'll find that more people move in the last minute than they do with the planning and preparation. So you need to have both of them working as a duality. That means if I do an event, I'm going to have, I'm going to put together a list, which I did. I'm going to invite people like I did last Sunday, which I did. I'm going to have a good number of people available, which I did. And I probably had the greater 80% of my work done, as you do right now, before the event. But there was 20% of people in which I called in the last hour. And I have more people show up in the last hour by ratio, by percentage, than I did with the people I planned for. And I'll tell you why. We as a human race have a tendency of doing more in the last minute. When you're traveling, let's say you're going to Texas, or we're going to Miami, or we're going to an event somewhere. You'll get more done in the last 3 days before you have to leave than in the 2 months you knew before you had to go. So there's more of a programming within the brain of a human being to move quicker with urgency. If space is available and value is created, you'll get more people in the last minute than you did in all your preparation planning. Because people be like, you know what? I don't want to miss out on that. It's like, I'm Jackie and I called up Melissa. I'm like, look, Melissa, I have an event this evening. It's exclusive and invite only. And I don't know what was on my mind. I had you at the top of my brain when I first thought about it. I don't know if you have anything tonight, but I wanted to make sure that I was not remiss in being able to extend the invitation to you, because it's for the most important people in my life. And I thought I had already called you, but I just realized I haven't. Are you busy this evening? An extra 20 text messages or phone calls in that capacity, which will cost you a maximum of 30 minutes, will get you an extra 5 people to show up of what you did in the whole week that you did in preparing for it. Because you'll find people like, as a matter of fact, I don't have anything going on this evening. As a matter of fact, you'll get somebody who's like, oh my God, my job, they're telling me that I need a new job by the end of the month. They're telling me that my money ran out from the government by the end of June. They're telling me that my taxes, I don't have the money coming back that I thought. I was planning for an extra, $3,000. I'm only getting an extra $1,000. I was trying to get my rapid reward on my money. All kinds of things happen on a daily basis that will change a person's state and their lens, their perception, where they weren't interested in anything last week, but because you called them today, they're interested in everything because something happened in their life. You got to understand, there's invitations, and people put too much into this and get lost in the sauce. Invitations are never personal. They're personal the way we share it, but the response is never personal. And because we're concerned about their response, we hold back from actually doing the invitation. Am I making sense? Are you guys following that so far?
Yes.
And if you I've gotten so good at, and I'm going to tell you, life has probably blessed me in that way. As many bad things and challenging things happen in my life. I'm so blessed in the sense of being so battle tested over the years. I don't care what your response is. My job was just to invite you. Once I invite you and I've mastered it, creating the value, if you're busy, you're busy. But you're going to catch that one person at the right time, at the right space. They're like, I'm ready for a change in my life. And all it costs you is an extra 20. All of a sudden, you're going to look like a hero. It was never about you. Whether they came was not how great your invitation is. Whether they came is not necessarily how bad your invitation is. We have people who have come into this business and got flat out wealthy from really bad invitations. What changed was what's going on in a person's life. When a person comes into an opportunity, it is the timing in their life. No matter how much you want to think you have, lemonade from lemons, or, a gold bar or shit that doesn't stink, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the timing in a person's life. Does that make sense? You guys with me on that so far?
Yes.
And
thank you, Dr. Nelson.
You are so welcome. For me, it's like a God thing. It's like, who am I to not tell somebody about God or show God through me? This is who I am. I'm not going to pick and choose who I tell and who I share with. Well, what's the best time to be a Christian? 9 to 5, 6 to 9. This isn't intermittent fasting. When's the best time to be smart? Like all the time, as much as possible. Healthy, all the time. When's the best time to build your business? All the time. I'm not in a business. Let me leave you with this. I'm not in a business. I am the business. That's why my residual income continues to continue. And there are very few people who work as little as I do and get paid as much as I do, but I pay my dues. I can honestly, transparently tell you since 2020, I've only missed, and this is including the pandemic, I've only missed 1 month of not being SVP and maintain my position and my income with doing very little. But I put in my time. I don't know any other SVP, honest to God, I don't know any other SVP that hasn't worked their business for 3 years that still holds their position. I don't know any other platinum RVP that has not worked their business in over 3 years and still gets paid in their position. I don't know. I'm not saying there isn't any, I just don't know. You know how rare that is? You have to build that on solid rocks, a solid foundation. You have to understand the marketing plan, the bricks and the leaders that you built on. You have had to drill down and make sure that if you want a 10-story building, you got 30 stories built underneath it, which I do in all my lines. So because 1 or 2 are going to erode, 2 or 3, 4, 5, even 10 could go away. But I got another 5, 10 in replacement for them right behind them, for most of them. Does that make sense? Is everybody getting that so far? Right? I got them in South America. If you just look at, I have them in Renata's Lake, I have them in, Jeff Weber and Efren Tejada, and I got like 4 more in South America. I got another one in Brian Sachs. I got 5 more down in Japan. I got 3 more in Australia. The leg is never going to go away. I just built and built and built all my legs to drill, 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 and sustain and maintain my leaders in all my lines. It's just like, it's Egypt. For me, it might as well be, a pyramid. Very few people have a real pyramid that still lasts from BC to AD. That's what I built in this company. Now, it's not about me. It's obviously the leaders that I was able to attract on the techniques in which I'm sharing with you. So I am complete. It is the 21st. We are going into, be very careful. It is Mercury retrograde today. Your life will change. I know, Jamar. Your life will change. So there's a whole lot going on in this season. All I'm gonna tell you is slow down. Move slow, methodical, take your time. I love you guys, all of you.